always nerves before a game, but round one there's so much unknown. Does that change the way you approach a match?
Oh, not really. I think the players are really ready for this. They've been having a long and strong pre-season, and I think the unknown lies ahead, but we'll just get into it come tomorrow night, and I'm sure our players are prepared to get a great start against Carlton.
It must make it harder though to get a read on the opposition, what they're doing, where they're at.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, pre-season this year, particularly the way they're structured, it's been a little bit difficult to get an indication. But we've seen a little bit of Carlton as they would have seen of us, and we've made some evaluations of how they play, and it's not a lot different to what we're used to in terms of Carlton's style of play and the way Mick Malthouse likes to coach. And so we'll do our very best to get our game plan in order tomorrow night.
You're a late arrival, obviously, with Port. What sort of struck you about the place? What stood out as something that maybe you didn't expect to see among the group when you got here?
Oh, probably expected to see all I've seen. Really, it's a place with high standards, high level of excellence. A leadership group that drives the footy club, and Ken, of course, who drives the footy club. Keith Thomas, the CEO. I've seen a footy club, I think, that's really together, and that hasn't surprised me at all. Anything that surprised me, probably just the level of excellence that the place operates at, and the level of coaching, the level of the playing group, I think, buy into the vision of the place. I think it's outstanding, and that's probably been above what I expected.
On the game, Shaun, what are the key aspects you've identified that you need to do well to beat Carlton?
I think we have to win the inside battle, there's no doubt about that. That's going to be a key component, is every week. Carlton are just a real scrapping, hard-working inside team, and some big bodies inside there, so we need to make sure we win that battle. We also got to win the outside battle as well, though, and that will be a challenge for us to make sure we come and we play our very best defence once the ball gets outside if Carlton do the footy, and also we just run and continue to play bold offence and really run Carlton to all ends of the ground.
You've got two debutants, and then you've got Pollack as well, so three blokes who've never played for the club. Is it a risk, that many?
You really don't know that until post-game, I think, but the reality with these guys is they're in form and they're playing both great defence, great offence, and that's all we can ask for. There's always a risk, I think, in playing any debutant player and any new player, but if they've earned their spot and they're really now part of the group, I think it's a credit to all those guys that they're such a part of the group now. They're so well respected and they're such a part of our starting out 18 that we're ready for them to play some great footy for Port Adelaide.
Have you told them anything different to the other guys? Because it is new to them. Do you put them in cotton wool a bit, or make sure they don't play the game before they play it?
No, not at all. We know that they're individual people and players, and most of them have played football before at a level that they've had preparation, they've known how they go about best to prepare themselves, so we let them do that. Obviously we make sure they understand every component of the game plan and the tactics around Carlton this week, because some of those things most of the senior Port Adelaide players know, but some of these new guys are still coming to grips with, and that's not unusual for any new player at any club. So they're the final points that probably these new players, the Impies, the Clurys, Polex and White, those guys will make sure we tick off with those guys before the game.
You obviously were part of the great Brisbane side that managed to maintain an extreme level for season to season. Have you sort of been able to impart any pearls of wisdom on these boys to make sure that they build on last year and don't be sort of happy with what they did?
I'll probably see that as one of the key things I can add to Port Adelaide and to this group. I've been trying to make sure I continue to push what we regard as our key trademark behaviours that really we want to see a minute after minute in every game and from every player, and pushing the message that I believe that's what shifted the team I played for from pretty good team to the best team in the competition, and it's the buy-in from all of the players. Once we continue to get that on a consistent basis at Port Adelaide, that's when we can understand, we can start to take on the teams who are highly rated and probably likely to finish at the top of the ladder, the Hawthorns, the Fremantles, those sorts of teams. I think for me, that's the message I bring, and I'll be trying to push as hard as possible to help these players stay hungry for the behaviours and the actions, and to drive each other into those things that really result in you getting high in terms of your ladder position at the end of the year. If you get there, I think it's because you just do the little things better than the opposition.
Do you have to be a bit harsh in a way, like sort of last year was great, but actually, guys, you haven't really achieved anything. There's so much ahead of you to be a good or even great team.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I just think Our system is brutal in the AFL. I think hunger is the greatest need we have. If we ever take our foot off the pedal, there's probably little throwaway thoughts, but the reality for me is if we lose hunger at any given time, we can become mediocre and even less than that very quickly in this competition. So it's the ability to continue to be hungry and continue to endeavour to seek improvement day after day. And at Port Adelaide, that's what I've found since I've been here.